Hello my beautiful girls, welcome back. I am so excited that you are here today. We are talking about how to stop being self-conscious, how to end social anxiety for good using your feminine energy. So everyone who's watching live, welcome. I will be answering all of your questions in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get straight into the video. You know the drill, I have my kombucha in my notes, so we are ready to go. Also guys, all of you who message me and you send me pictures of you drinking kombucha, it makes my day. I think that it's the cutest thing in the world. I love that you guys are taking such good care of your gut health and really enjoying this drink that I bring on every time. So thank you for those. I love all of your sweet messages. Now back to the video. So why is it important to learn how to end social anxiety? It is important if you want to know how to be in your feminine energy. For you to be in your feminine energy, it involves you being confident. It also involves you knowing how to be in your body, how to communicate using your body. If you are anxious, if you are self-conscious, the way that you communicate is not going to come from a place of divine feminine energy. It's going to come from a place of wounded feminine energy. It's okay. It's very natural for people to feel anxious. However, I'm going to teach you how to make it feel no longer natural for you. So if you feel that maybe you are embarrassed in public, maybe you fear going to public events because you don't want to speak to people, you don't want to have that pressure to engage in conversations, and you are constantly thinking, what do I say? How do I move my hands? This video is for you. So I have two thoughts to share with you first that are going to help you change social anxiety for good, and then I'll give you some steps, some actions that you can actually take to do it. So the very first thing to know before I give you the steps, one, you have to know everyone is in their own head. Everyone is focused on evaluating their own life. Why do you think that the focus is on you? That is the very first question to ask yourself. Do you constantly think about what other people are thinking in their head? People are focused on themselves, they are focused on their lives. You can ask yourself, why do I think that everyone is always thinking about me? This is the very first thought to have if you are dealing with social anxiety. Let's say that you embarrass yourself. Maybe you trip and fall in the middle of the mall. Maybe you stutter when you speak. Do you think that people are sitting there and thinking, wow, how embarrassing, or ooh, I cannot believe that she or he just did that? No, they're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about, what would happen if I did that? Or, what am I going to have for dinner? I promise you, the focus is not on you. So move away from that thought to think everyone is always thinking about you. Thought number two to have. You are just a mirror for other people. That is all that they really see you as. Let's say that there are two different women at the grocery store, and they're both looking at this beautiful, successful, well-dressed, confident woman who's picking out some fruit to add. Woman number one might look at her and say, who does she think she is? She's so overdressed. Look at the way that she carries herself. She must be so self-centered and so conceited and stuck up. Woman number two standing right next to her might look at this same exact woman and think, wow, she is so beautiful. Look at the way that she carries herself. Look at how much effort she puts into her appearance. She is so inspirational. I want to be like that. Two different women seeing the same exact woman. That woman who is dressed very nice, who maybe looks like a supermodel, she is a mirror for both of those two women that are observing her. So woman number one who looked at her and made those judgments, what she was seeing in that mirror was a reflection of her insecurities, her lack of self-worth, her lack of effort. Woman number two, when she looked at that woman, she saw a mirror of confidence, beauty, someone who loves and cares about herself. She saw someone that was inspirational and genuinely attractive. She was seeing herself in that woman. So when people look at you, they are not seeing who you think you are. They are seeing who they think they are. So this will help you really understand that you do not get to control how other people see you. Release that control, show up the way that you want. People are going to use you as their mirror anyways. This also helps you practice to show up authentically. Release the control, release the pressure off of yourself to act a certain way, to try to control the way that other people see you. It's never going to work that way. You show up as yourself, people choose the way that they see you. Now moving into the steps. How do you actually end social anxiety? What are the specific actions that you do? You guys know I always come with a game plan. So step number 1, get out of your head, get into your body. This is how I would summarize how to get into your feminine energy. Your masculine energy lives in your head. It is the thoughts, it's the logic, it's the planning, it's the doing. Your feminine energy is in your body. It is feeling your emotions. It is feeling how you feel on the inside. It's being so connected to your body, to your intuition. It's that inner knowing. So step number 1, get out of your head and into your body. The way that you're going to do this is to focus on being present rather than focusing on performing. So what I mean by this is to live in the moment rather than putting on a show for others. And I have an example of when this happened in my own life that really switched this for me. So when I would worship at church, I used to be so uncomfortable moving my hands and moving my body. People around me, they would worship, they would put their arms up, they would sing and dance. My hands were by my side, and I felt really scared to even sing loud because I was focused on performing rather than being present. When I started doing my own inner work, learning how to connect to my feminine energy, I learned how to feel the moment, how to connect to my heart, to how my body was feeling. Naturally, my arms started moving. Naturally, I started feeling comfortable putting my hands up, putting my hands in the sky, singing loud, putting my hand over my heart. Whatever my body was feeling was being communicated through my body language. So the way that you do this is to connect to your senses, connect to how your body is feeling. Feel every single part of every single moment. Something that really helps me is thinking, I'm never going to live in this exact same moment again. I'm never going to be talking to this person. I'm never going to be feeling the music in this way. When you have that thought, you can learn to live in the present. So for me, I realized I was performing. I was putting on a show for other people rather than living in the present and enjoying the moment for myself. So now I'm connected to my body. I know how to move my hands. I know how to move my body very, very naturally. Feminine energy, it looks and it feels natural. The way that you can tell if you or someone that you're watching is in their feminine energy, are their movements natural? The way that they talk, the things that they say, the way that they move their body, is it natural or is it calculated? If it's calculated, they're most likely in their head. They're trying to plan, trying to think, using their logic, which is the masculine energy. For you, drop into your body. Do what feels good for you. Practice singing and dancing, moving with the music so that you can know how your body responds. Moving on to step number 2. Also, I do want to say the point that I just made, this is why I always say inner work is a necessity if you want to access your feminine energy. You have to do the healing work, which you are doing right now, being here watching this video. Get to the root of the issues, connect to your body, heal in order to thrive in your feminine energy. So back to step number 2. This one is one of my favorites that I'm going to tell you guys. Step number 2 is to ask unique questions during conversations. So I discovered this a few years ago and it changed the way that I show up at events. It changed the conversations that I have with people forever. What you do is, rather than asking questions based on the what of a person, you ask based on who and why about that person. And I'll give you examples to show what I mean. So don't ask, how long have you been at your job for? Ask questions such as, if money was infinite, would you still be at this job? What was it? What was a defining moment where you realized this is your passion and purpose in life? If there was another career path that you were forced to go down, this one was no longer available, which career path would you choose? Those types of questions are so much deeper than asking, what do you do for work? What's your schedule like? The beautiful part about this, you connect with that person so deeply when you ask these types of questions. When you get to know who someone is on the inside, you can figure out their purpose, their why behind who they are. They trust you, they open up to you on a deeper level. When you have that deep conversation, there's no room for awkwardness, there's no room for anxiety. You are living in the present, you are living on a very deep level. Everything is very natural and there's a very strong connection when this happens. Another part about this too is people love talking about themselves. They feel so good doing it. So when you open up yourself to make room to listen and really enjoy being present with that person, it gives your body, your nervous system, that time to release the anxiety. You're no longer feeling, okay, what am I going to say next? Who's going to fill in the next gap? No. You are asking questions that align with exactly what that person just told you because you're living in the present. You're actually listening to what they're saying. Practice living in the present by asking questions, deep questions specific to that person, and opening up room to listen. One of my favorite quotes of all time, I swear I tell this to every single client that I work with. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are happy, you are living in the present. Move the anxiousness out of your life by stepping into the present. Get out of the future, get out of the past, and live in the present. Step number 3 is pick new thoughts. This is the most important thing that I'm going to say in this whole video. Your identity is not set in stone. You choose the way that you show up in life. You choose the woman that you are. The beliefs that you have, you get to decide, do I want this belief? Do I want to believe that this is how I show up? Stop telling yourself, I'm anxious. Stop saying, I have social anxiety. I'm just awkward. You claim that identity every single time you say that. Choose to have new thoughts, choose to have new beliefs. So you are in control of your thought, it is not the other way around. If you want to say, oh, I'm just an awkward person, guess what your body is going to communicate? Your hands are going to be in your pockets, they're going to be fumbling at your sides. You're not going to show up as that confident person because your belief is that you are awkward. Tell yourself, I am confident. I am someone who knows who she is. I feel so good and proud of the woman that I am. I show up so strongly in conversations. Connection is easy for me. Talking with people is easy for me and it feels so good. Your body is going to communicate that differently. Here's a physical example to actually show you what this looks like. So if I believed, I don't know what I'm talking about on YouTube, I don't know the content of what I'm telling you guys, it's not something I'm confident in, this is how I would talk. I would literally hunch over, I would talk very quiet and say, you have to pick new thoughts. No, I know what I'm talking about because I believe in this so much. I believe in myself so much. I believe that there's a purpose in sharing this content to help you level up your life and connect back to your feminine energy. When I talk, this is communicated. The way that my shoulders are, the way that I speak, it's so natural because I believe I'm confident in the way that I speak. The same thing goes for you. Even if you don't have social anxiety, what is it right now for you that you feel your belief is hindering you? Choose to change it. Step number 4, this is the last and the final step, embrace your alter ego. This one is super, super fun, super, super easy to do. You can start with this one if you want to start with any of the steps first. What you're going to do, think of the woman that represents the powerful, confident nature that you want for yourself. So personally for me, I love Rihanna. When I'm embracing my alter ego, I'm Rihanna. I love that she is sexy. I love that she knows who she is. I love that she has her own unique style and never tries to be someone else. She loves who she is as a woman. So when I showed up in conversations where maybe I felt awkward and had social anxiety in the past, I would literally pretend that my life was a movie. You guys know I always use this analogy. Life is a movie. You are an actor in it. Your role is not set in stone. My role, I chose, okay, I'm going to be Rihanna today. How would she talk? How would she move her hands? How would she move her body? When you embrace your alter ego, you are telling your identity, you get to change. You get to be any woman that you want. Find the woman that represents that alter ego for you. So something else about this too is that this is kind of a bonus tip. This woman who is your alter ego, how would she respond to what is happening in your life right now in terms of your relationships and opportunities? So we're moving a little bit away from the social anxiety and really getting to who you are as a woman. Your alter ego, decide, would she accept this type of relationship? Would she accept this type of disrespect? What would she do if someone texted her or responded this to her? And you react according to what your alter ego would say. This is the key to leveling up. This is the key to embracing your dark feminine energy. Setting boundaries, knowing who you are as a woman, and connecting to your body. You do what feels good for your body when you honor and live an authentic life. Sometimes it takes embracing an alter ego to give yourself that confidence and that push to leave the old identity behind and start living as your true self. So that was just a bonus tip. That could be a whole different video. I could talk about that on and on, but I'm going to give you guys a recap and then I'll take some of your questions. So the first two things that I mentioned are to know these two principles. Number one, everyone is focused on themselves. Number two, you are just a mirror for the people around you. The 4 steps in order. Get out of your head and into your body. The key to embracing your feminine energy. Number 2, ask unique questions during conversations. This removes social anxiety and pressure off you, especially when you go to bigger events. Number 3 was to pick new thoughts. You decide what your beliefs are. You decide the way that you're showing up. How do you want that to look like? The last but not least, embrace your alter ego. Find that woman who embraces the qualities that you want for yourself and then start embodying them. I do want to note too, if you have social anxiety or if you're feeling like you're very self-conscious right now, give your body grace. We are moving out of a pandemic. You have been at a point in time where you are not used to having conversations all the time. You're not used to being out in public. It is okay. It is never too late to learn how to have that confidence when it comes to showing up as your authentic self. So give your body grace and start showing up as that confident woman, releasing the social anxiety today. Now I will take some of your guys' questions. The whole time I thought you were talking to men and women. So yes, I do. I know my account is mostly for women. It's because I love talking to my girls. My girls just have a special place in my heart. And I really focus on feminine energy, but that's not gender specific. Men have feminine energy too. We have both energies inside of us. My content is mostly for women. If you like to listen to what I'm going to say, it's definitely for you. Good stuff. Very positive energy. Thank you. Thanks, Alexis. Yes, you're so welcome. How do you handle cheating in your feminine energy? You don't handle it. You don't accept it. Personally, for me, I would never accept cheating in a relationship, no matter what age I'm at, no matter what the relationship history is. If I'm married, if I'm single, the relationship is over. For me, loyalty is a huge value, and I make sure that that is communicated with my partner. For your feminine energy, you have to feel safe, you have to feel secure in your environment, in your relationship. Your feminine energy will never blossom if you don't. For me, cheating, it's like crumpling up a piece of paper that can never be fixed again. Meaning that for me, I can never have that safe, rested nervous system, that safety net for my feminine energy to feel safe enough to come alive. And for me, it's not worth it to have dimmed down feminine energy to stay in a relationship where cheating is involved. So for me personally, I would not accept cheating, but I know everyone is different. You decide what feels good for your body. If your feminine energy is not allowed to thrive, if you don't feel safe, I would not encourage you to stay in that relationship. How do I make people respect me without feeling guilty? You remind yourself that you're not responsible for other people's feelings. You also remind yourself that first thought that I shared with you, everyone is thinking about themselves. Maybe they'll feel offended and hurt if you suddenly start setting boundaries and speaking up, but who cares? It is your life. Someone that does not respect you, they will either walk away once you learn to respect yourself and set boundaries, or they will start treating you better. You decide that it is more important for you to treat yourself with love and respect than to worry and constantly have someone else's feelings in your hand. I think that's a really, really great question. Could you tell us your journey with social anxiety? Yeah, this is a good question. Laura, you're welcome, girl. So, Afusa, I hope I'm saying your name right, girl. I never really had social anxiety when I was growing up. Never had it as a teenager, never had it in college. The first time that I experienced it was when the pandemic happened, when COVID happened. And I believe it's because I was not out. I'm an extrovert and an introvert probably equally, but I love spending time with my friends, especially going out in restaurants, group settings, and because I did not have access to that, it felt like I forgot how to speak to strangers. It felt like I forgot how to show up and be comfortable with myself. It felt like my energy was being mixed with so many different people so quickly after the pandemic slowly started to loosen up, and I did not feel comfortable with that. Because I had lost part of myself, part of my identity during the pandemic, I was not able to show up confidently myself, and this gave me social anxiety. Excuse me. I told you guys I was in a rut during the pandemic. I was not feeling like myself, felt a little bit depressed. I decided, okay, my life is in my control. No one is going to step in and say, here Alexis, I'm going to pick you up, you're going to stop feeling anxious, you're going to stop feeling sad. No, I decided that is my responsibility. I started reading books, educating myself, and thinking, what do I want my dream life to look like? I know that I want to be financially stable, I know that I want to be free, I want to be happy. What do the top 1% of wealthy people in the world do? They all read and they all invest in themselves. I learned that and started doing the exact same. Naturally, leveling up, doing inner work, and learning how to be my best self healed my social anxiety. Sometimes it'll still pop up from time to time, but I now know I don't claim that as my identity anymore. And I now have the tools which I just shared with you to help relieve that for myself. Ooh, Jacqueline, I love this question, girl. What are some misconceptions that you've heard online about feminine and masculine energy? So number one is that as a woman, you only need feminine energy. Biggest misconception. My masculine energy, I love it. It is the reason why I've been able to start multiple businesses. It's the reason why I'm here talking with you now, because my feminine energy has inspired me to take action. My masculine energy has carried it out. So masculine energy, you need it as a woman. Same thing for men, you need feminine energy. It is the beautiful part that unlocks your emotions, connects that intimate part between you and your partner, gives you vulnerability, and helps you really embrace all sides of yourself. Another misconception that I've seen is that the soft girl era is the only way to live, and that the soft girl era is feminine energy. That is a part of feminine energy, but being soft, being submissive, being timid, that does not represent feminine energy. Your feminine energy, it is raw, it is free, it is powerful. You have the light, soft side, but you also have the dark feminine energy. Check out my video on dark feminine energy if you haven't seen it yet. You need it. It gives you so much power and passion as a woman. Another misconception that I've seen is that femininity is the same as feminine energy. This is not true. Femininity is the appearance of what feminine energy is supposed to look like according to society. Femininity is things such as wearing dresses, makeup, the color pink. Those things are conventionally feminine, but feminine energy is your essence. It is your inner being on the inside. And then another misconception that I've seen is, that feminine energy directly relates to physical beauty. This is not true. I always say this in my videos. The only standard of beauty that actually matters is your energy. It's the only standard of beauty that is consistent in every country, every single culture, and has never changed over time. Physical appearance, body shape, hairstyles, clothing, that constantly changes. It has changed over history and it's different everywhere you go. However, your energetic beauty, your feminine energy, that is felt and appreciated and so attractive everywhere and never goes out of style. So I think that your feminine energy is more important than physical beauty. Love, love that question, Jacqueline. That's really great. You are so nice. I love all your tips. Thank you, Bev. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for all the likes. So sweet. Also, guys, I have a course. Oh, I cannot believe that I forgot to mention this. I have a course that I'm working on. It's going to be released Valentine's Day 2023. Make sure to check out my website in the description below. It is all about feminine energy. Feminine Energy 101, how to master it. I have some inner work tools in there for you, as well as everything that I've learned my whole life about feminine energy I'm putting in this course. So make sure to subscribe to my website to stay up to date with that. So Oh, I see so many good questions. So how do you know if you're in your divine feminine energy versus your wounded feminine energy? You will know based on the way that you are triggered in life. So the less triggered that you are, the more healed you are becoming. So let's say that you move through the day and so many little things upsets you, or someone can say something and you take it personal. Start observing the way that you show up in daily life. Are you triggered, or are you in a state of flowing? Excuse me guys, you know this is so carbonated. So divine feminine energy, it's in that state of flowing, being present, observing rather than reacting, understanding that everyone is in their own world and projecting onto you. Wounded feminine energy takes things personal, gets very frustrated, tries to control, tries to often manipulate. If you find that you have any of these habits, you might be in the wounded feminine energy. You will notice too that when someone says something with the intention of hurting you, rather than getting upset, taking it personal, and firing back, which the wounded feminine energy would do, you would instead observe and say, what's going on in them that they would say something like this? So pay attention to the way that you respond to things that would normally trigger you. This is how you know if you're in your divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy is when you know who you are as a woman. You are in that state of peace, flowing, harmony. Your masculine, your feminine, your light, your dark feminine energy is all balanced within you. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome, guys. Okay, I saw a good question. Where did it go? Oh my gosh, Sophia, this is so sweet. I've been watching your videos every morning on the treadmill for my hour of fasted cardio. Love it. Sophia, you go girl. That fasted cardio is amazing. Thank you so much for watching these videos and for sharing that with me. That means a lot. Ooh, how do you stop letting fear take control of your life? I love questions like this because the answer is so much more simple than you expect. You choose to stop letting fear take control of your life. If someone came up and asked you, why are you choosing to live in fear? How would you respond to them? The advice that I always give to my clients, start small. Whatever it is, that mindset that or that habit that you're trying to break, start small to be able to shift out of it. So what you would do is one thing every day that scares you. This will teach you, one, you are strong enough to be able to survive whatever happens, and two, that it is natural for you to face your fears. Start doing this with small things. So for example, when I was younger, I used to hate needles. I just said when I was younger, but I honestly still hate them. I hate needles, and what I would do to get over that fear is I would say, you know what, that's maybe 10 seconds of my day that I have to worry about that. I'm going to live in the present every single moment and face my fear by just getting it done. By not trying to control the outcome, by not stressing about it, I'm just going to accept it. When you can accept that fear and do one thing every day that scares you, you're going to train your body that you can handle it and that you can start really pushing past that and living confidently. You are so beautiful. Thank you. You've helped me so much. I'm so grateful. You are so welcome. Thank you. I feel unattractive and undesirable after a male friend rejected me. How do I get over this? Yeah, so this is a good question. When this rejection happens, you remind yourself, number one, my validation does not come from someone else. Ask yourself, why do I feel that the way I feel about myself is in someone else's hands? Close your eyes. Imagine that you are taking that power back. Imagine you are taking your energy out of your male friend's hands, putting it back into your body. You are so worthy and so beautiful no matter what someone else says. Number two is remind yourself that rejection is just a redirection. Open yourself up and become available for what God has for you. That's even better than what you currently imagine. Something that I tell my younger siblings whenever they feel upset about something not working out, I will tell them, 1 year ago, were you happy? And they will usually say yes. And then I'll say, okay, 1 year from now you're going to be happy. You did not expect this to happen. Just imagine what else you don't expect that's still coming for you. So ask yourself about your worthiness being in the hands of someone else. Pull that energy back for yourself and remind yourself that there's still so much good coming. This is not the end of the world. OMG, I love you. I love you, Seven. Okay guys, thank you so much for being here today and for asking all of your amazing questions. Please let me know what other types of videos you would like to see next. I love your guys' ideas. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. I'm so grateful to have you here. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Bye!